muscle memory, so he studies it really, really hard. But then when you have the injuries in the spring, it's tough to really feel the stem of the route or feel how I want to attack this leverage or where do I fit within this concept. So for him to be healthy through this point has been great because you see where he feels it, we talk it, we watch the film, and then the next day he addresses it and it's better and improvement. So he's been a lot of fun to work with.
What was his recruiting like getting out of Chattanooga?
You know, he was a guy that, the one thing I appreciate about Sam is he knew what he was looking for, and he wanted to be a part of a place that had a culture like we have here at Iowa. That was important to him, the people he was around, and then he wanted to be developed. He wanted to be part of a system where he knew he was going to be exposed to multiple routes within a route tree, and being able to having to read coverage post snap and being able to play in a top conference, which is the Big Ten, and all of that stuff, you know, that was important to him. But I think the fun thing about him was it started out with who am I going to be with, who are the people, who's coaching me, who am I surrounded with from players, and that part was really exciting.
How's the receiver group been?
Good. We're continuing to progress each day. It's been a lot of fun getting ourselves into year two. We started to see some of those strides throughout the spring, and they worked diligently through the summer, and now you're starting to see it show up in the fall camp as well. And so it's been really good.
Kirk was asked about Weegan in the press conference, and just that maybe there's starting to be more of a role for him as a receiver, and he's growing in that area. What have you seen from Weege?
Yeah, the thing, he is so dynamic. Obviously, we know that with what he can do on special teams and being the punt returner, kick returner that he was. He has that same ability when it comes to playing offense. He's got legit speed. He can take the top off. He's a good route runner. He's got great ball skills. And the challenge for him starting in January was the details and being able to not just run lines on a paper, but understanding coverage, understanding leverages, how you can attack defenders, how you can use your speed as a strength. And I think that's something that he's worked really hard towards, and he's continuing to get better each day, and he's reliable in the run game. He's a physical guy. And then in the throw game, obviously he's got a lot of skill that we can take the top off, and within the intermediate stuff, being able to run those routes has been good for him.
This is as deep as that room's been, and gosh, and I've been covering this for a while, but it's been a while since it's been this deep. How do you kind of sort through who's getting reps? And I mean, it's nicer that Tim's running a lot of 3 wide, but so you get more guys out there. But what is that like for you?
It's the fun part is the depth. The depth is a good thing, and so now for us as coaches, what we're trying to do is I want to put guys in multiple spots so that we can find out what they're good at, what are their strengths. And the beauty within this system is you can move guys around formationally. We do so much pre-snap motions, different formations. We could have 3-by-1 with the X into the boundary, the F into the boundary, the Y into the boundary. We can be condensed in a bunch set, have 3 receivers to the field, or we can have 1 receiver. And so just the variety that we have formationally for us right now, it's taking that depth, getting enough volume of reps, so then we can see, okay, this is this guy's strength. We want him in on this particular play, and then continue to work that through camp.
Tell us about KJ Parker. He's gotten a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
What you've seen from him in his development.
So KJ is a guy who, in the spring, really stood out just from a dynamic playmaking ability, and he's great in one-on-one matchups, contested catches. He does a good job at the line of scrimmage, and that part he's had that really since he got here. He's got great energy to him, loves playing the game. Now his challenge is day in and day out the details within the system, and then building the consistency with that. And that's going to happen. He's in year 2, but really he was on the scout team all last year. So the majority of his reps came in the springtime. So he's kind of going through this for maybe the second time, maybe the third time if you count some of the summer stuff. But just building that consistency day to day with the details. But really pleased with where he's been to this point.
And tomorrow you guys will run guys out there. Who's going to be like your first 3 guys out there, you think, tomorrow?
It's a little bit of it will depend on what we're starting out with, once we take a peek at the call sheet and what Tim wants to get to, because like I said, we're trying to figure out really what guys do well, putting them in the position to do that. I think it starts with that veteran group, though. We have 4 seniors, and Coach talks often about your best players got to play your best, and usually those best players are your veteran guys. And so really looking and leaning on, Jacob Gill, Seth Anderson, Caden Weege, Sam Phillips, those guys to really create a role, and then really like what our young guys are continuing to do. Reese Vandersea is a guy that progresses each and every day. Starting from week 3 in spring, he's continued to get better. So we'll keep mixing and matching them as we go. There's no clear-cut depth chart. We'll figure that out as we go in a couple weeks here.
I know Sam had a little bit of trouble staying healthy in the spring.
Yep.
Did that maybe set him back a little bit in terms of getting comfortable in the offense?
Yeah, I think what it does is it limits the muscle memory that you're able to create. And so for Sam was a guy that got here, worked really diligent at studying the formations, the motions, the concepts, what our alignment assignments are within each play. But then you got to get out there and do it. And when you do it, he's a veteran guy he's got good feel for coverage and leverages and how he wants to attack them, releasing at the line of scrimmage. But really it's understanding within our concepts, where do you fit? Are you front side? Are you back side? When you have this route adjustment and all of a sudden it's cover 2 versus post safety zone, what are you doing within that? And that's stuff that you just have to rep. And so for him, summer was huge. He's been healthy to this point, taking care of his body. And so you can see it with him where he might miss it on one. We'll go into the film room, correct it, and the next day he's got it. And I think a lot of that is that veteranness of having played before.
There's a lot of buzz about